Hello everyone, welcome to the fourth video in our programming using RobotMesh series, the basics. In this video we'll be going over definitions and why they're so important. Now definitions are almost essential, actually, correction, they are essential to having good autonomous code. Now to make a definition, you just do definition name. So you always would want a drive forward definition, and then for this you want to add so distance, or D, and V for velocity. Now you'll understand why I had you add those right about now. And then you type in your drivetrain dot spin. Oh wait, no, it's drive 4. So now this is why we actually made the drivetrain function. Yeah, the drivetrain function's nice because it's an easy way to manage your drivetrain motors. This is why. So this allows you to go VEX. So put in your direction type dot forward comma. So distance. This is where you change it. You hit your D variable. VEX.distance units. Now this is a cool thing. You can set it to centimeters, inches, and millimeters. Since I'm American, I'm going inches. And then velocity, type it to that V variable. And for velocity units, you just do the normal %. And then wait for completion. You're going to want to hit, for the most part, true, but that's all depends. So yeah, for drivetrain, you usually want to go true. For others, you might not want to. Now, what these two variables do is, yeah, they're here also. So if I just quickly make a drive forward thing in my Auton, I can make it go forward for 10 inches at 90 velocity. So what it's doing is this number is being replaced here, and this number is being placed here. So this line is really this line. Instead of that line, though, it's this 10 at 90. So we just shortened that line down to something just simple and typable like this. I'd hate having to type this every time. And then you can do the same thing for drive backwards by just copying it, going down a few lines, making sure that you don't mess up your indents like I just did, and making it drive backwards. And then changing the direction type to reverse. And then you're obviously going to want to make sure you can turn. So turn left. And then instead of D, I'm going to use A for angle. And then this one, you don't use the drive 4, you use turn 4. And then you can go vex dot turn type dot left. And then the angle is A. Again, same reason for the above, vex dot rotation units dot degrees. And then velocity is V. Vex dot, not comma, velocity units dot PCT and true. So now this, it's the same basic thing as the drive forward, except for it's turning this time. So you go turn left. I want to do a 90-degree turn at 70 or 65 velocity. There. Instead of that, and if I didn't have that definition, I would have to write this out at 65 velocity. That's no fun. Takes too much space. This is actually where drivetrains really come in handy, or the definitions, I should say, really come in handy is when you're using like multiple motors in one group that aren't part of the drivetrain function. When you're having to use motors that aren't part of the drivetrain function. So things like intake. And then for this, you usually just you can put a D just for degrees again, comma velocity, and then you go use your combine or your intakes. So for me, it's right intake dot spin 4 x dot direction type dot forward, comma, and then the rotation value is D x dot rotation units dot or DEG for degrees, and then V for the velocity, vex dot velocity units dot PCT, and then this one, a lot of times you can set to false, because that means if one of your intakes gets stuck, it won't try finishing it. That's pretty much what that true false does. If it's set to true, and your robot gets stuck, it will not it will not go to the next line until it gets unstuck. Forward, comma, D, comma, vex dot rotation. Okay, I capitalize vex dot rotation units dot EG, comma, v comma vex dot velocity units dot pct comma false. Oops, bad typing. And then you can do the same thing for the outtake. You just reverse the direction. Outtake is 1t, I think. Whatever. Rev. And then you can just copy this whole thing and use it for your combines. Well, for me, I can use it for my combine. So combine up, combine down. And then instead of using the intake names, you just use top combine, bottom combine, top combine, bottom combine. And that's all. Make sure that it works. And then when you're all done, hit build, download it, and, well, wait for the next video, because in the next video, I'm going over how to use these definitions properly in Auton and just basic Auton things that'll help make your Autons more effective. I've been Andrew, you've been you. See you later.